Hello everyone and welcome. This is a Merritt typewriter. It seems has been sold from 1889 till around 1896. It also appears could have been produced around 15,000 pieces in total. The Merritt belongs to the group of the index typewriter and was considered the best of the group. It was the lowest priced of the group and was less complicated. But it's not a toy typewriter. It's a typewriter made for hard work. There isn't a keyboard, but this plate with the letters and symbols and an index pointing at them. It's a so-called blind typewriter. It doesn't mean it's for blind people. It means that you cannot see what you write until you lift the carriage. The design seems unconventional, but in the 1890s there was a huge array of typewriters of different size, designs and prices. And there was no standard yet. So if you saw this typewriter in 1890, you wouldn't realize it was unconventional. Your only concern was whether you could afford it and whether it would perform the task for which it was designed. Standardization came later, and of course, the more complex but faster typewriters equipped with typing bars prevailed. The serial number is here. On the other side, in some machines, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's not clear why. It seems a sloppy password. There aren't the typing bars. The typefaces are on a sliding support. Inside it, there are all the typefaces on a metal bar. By moving the handle back and forth, each typeface comes to the printing point. When you depress the handle, the typeface is pushed up through this hole on the paper guide, so printing the character. There isn't the ribbon, but two rollers ink the typefaces, and they move back and forth on these. The inking roller can be removed when re-inking is needed. Merritt considered a good selling point the fact that it has no ribbon to wear out smart fingers or paper. The weak point of the Merritt was the speediness. Optimistically, the speed was half that of a standard typewriter. But there were a lot of good selling points that they insisted on in the advertisements. Main selling point was the price, $15. A big standard typewriter could cost around $100, that is around $300,000 or euro nowadays. Many people could not afford this price, so they could buy an index typewriter for $15, that is around $500 nowadays. With this entry-level machine, you could do most of the work you could do with a more expensive machine. It was slower, but not everyone needed high speeds. Then, when the workload grew and you had practice, you could buy a more elaborate typewriter. They said that this typewriter has a perfect alignment of characters, and they were right. At the beginning of the typewriter era, the alignment of the character was a problem. Since here the typefaces are all on a bar, there isn't any problem about this. And of course, with this system, there isn't the problem of typing bars clogging. In the advertisements they say that there are metal characters giving more legibility. Now could be obvious, but at that time there were also typewriters like this all with rubber characters. So Merritt probably was referring at other index typewriter like this. It says also that it's easy to change to copying ink. It refers to the most used copying system at that time, the copying press, that used a particular copying ink. You had to prepare the master copy with the special ink, then you could make some copies. There is a video in the channel. And it was portable. Big standard machine wasn't. Let's see how it works. The space button is this. It's connected to the same bail of the printing mechanism. The logic behind the disposition of the letters in this keyboard is that the most common letters are in the middle of the keyboard, so they are easier to be reached. As it will often happen in the future, instead of the 0, you have to use the O. The paper is inserted here as usual. There is a knob to advance the paper. If you want to move the carriage to the desired position, you have to use the spacebar. To print uppercase letters, there is this button, and for numbers and symbols, there is this one. The shift mechanism is interesting because it's unusual. In fact, on the bar with the typefaces, there is a sequence of lowercase letters, uppercase letters, and symbols, which have the same position on the keyboard. When you press the uppercase button, the entire bar with all letters, symbols and numbers slides to the right, so printing uppercase letters. While when you press the symbols button, the bar slides to the left, so printing symbols. There is not an interline lever. To start a new line, you have to return the carriage to the right by depressing the spacebar and turn the knob 1 or 2 notches, according to the width needed. So that's all for this typewriter. I think it was an honest attempt to produce a simple, inexpensive typewriter, and Mr. Merritt truly believed in the superiority of his typewriter and in the solutions he found. But the market took a different direction, and this typewriter remains only a testament to the genius of its creator. Geniuses aren't always the ones who build complex devices. Sometimes they are geniuses because they find simple and economical solutions to people's needs. Maybe these are the best genius, and Merritt was certainly one of them. Have a nice day.